Adequate infrastructure is essential to airport and airline operations. While it's not necessarily as exciting or as visible as aircraft, it is arguably just as important. Airports are constantly adapting to provide enough functional, safe, and affordable infrastructure for airline and passengers. And that's the case with the rehabilitated domestic runway of the Muritala Mohammed Airport in Lagos. The reopened runway and its benefit to local operations is the crux of the program. And the federal government approves the immediate relaxation of the COVID-19 restrictions 2 years after. That's a preview of the program. Welcome on board Aviation this week on Channels Television. I'm Bukola Joe Oketumbi.
This is what the domestic runway looked like in July 2022 as rehabilitation work commenced and local flights had to taxi to the international airport to take off, a decision the helmsman of FAN said was critical.
To all our stakeholders, the airlines, a lot happened and you bore with us through this difficult time. In fact, it was so bad that after almost 15 years, people were tending to believe the status quo should maintain. We had to push and annoy some stakeholders to close this runway so that we can make it back to operation 100%. We thank them for their understanding and support. It is very important.
About 4 months after, the airside here is packed and busy as aircraft land and also take off. The rehabilitation done and dusted, the 2.7-kilometer long runway, 18L 36 hours approach lights, runway lights are working after 14 years of neglect.
Over the last 14 years minimum, a major component of that complement, and that is the 1/8 left airfield lighting, was down and deficient for over 14 years. This made the airport lose a very important part of its functions, versatility and efficiency. We have delivered on yet another very critical milestone. It's not an easy milestone. Achievements come and go, but I believe in aviation, no achievement comes bigger or better than enhancing your airfield capability. This MMA airport, Muritala Mohammed Airport, was conceived and developed with a full complement of landside and airside facilities to ensure operational flexibility, versatility, and efficiency in the interest of safety and security and our own compliance with the standard and the recommended practices.
It's a blessing for us. It will make the airlines reduce their costs, and it's so convenient for pilots to come in, land on 1/8 left, and then taxi to just less than 5 minutes. You taxi to the terminal building. So I think it's a welcome development, and I flew recently and I saw the job they've done. I have to commend the federal government through FAN that they have put a standard runway lighting, and my prayer is they keep those lights intact. For once we have got it right. They have put all the lights that are supposed to be put, the runway center light, the touchdown lights, perfectly working. I hope they will not end up in disco halls. I pray that those lights will be there.
After the installation of the new aids, the runway would operate both sunrise and sunset flights, which would further ease the burden of operators.
The Minister of Aviation, Senator Hadi Sirika, has not only been speaking about the upgraded runway, but also on the planned demolition of existing Lagos offices of some aviation parastatals. There's more on our interview.
We in this administration under Buhari in aviation, we are focused on all of those safety critical items and security items to which our passengers and airport users don't often see. Nothing worries the passenger about whether you have an instrument landing system or you have a VOR that guides you or you have any other equipment that tells you about weather. They honestly don't know and it's not their concern. But our concern is how safe and secure and efficient you depart point A and land at point B. This particular runway, the rehabilitation of the runway itself, the airfield lighting systems, the center line, the age, the approach, and all of them, are things that speaks to three fundamental issues. One is the issue of safety. Two is the issue of efficiency of the airport. And three is how efficient also are our airlines in terms of cost savings and operational comfort for them. So this is a very, very important item, and I was on the runway. The riding quality was good. The approach light was perfect and super. We came in and we met lots of reports, including PricewaterhouseCoopers, IOS, and all of that reports, Paul Dickey and what have you. We put them together early in 2016, and we rolled out our roadmap. And the unions at that time formed majority part of the stakeholders that were there. And we rolled out our roadmap, which included concession, the national carrier, the cargo, the aviation university, the MRO, the leasing company, and so on. This chaos, all of this, please, is what it is that you want for an aerotropolis, which is part of the roadmap. Don't you want a rail link between the old domestic terminal and the new international terminal? Don't you want that? Don't you want better structures where there are cinemas, there are spas, there are shopping malls, there are resting areas, there are banks, there are airline offices, and a befitting headquarters for Lagos? Do you want to keep going to Dubai and coming back and say, wow, these people have done wonderful? Do you want to keep going to Ghana and using your phone and saying, come on Ghana, see Ghana, come on Ghana? Is that what you want? Given the chance, I will demolish all the headquarters. In fact, I told somebody that I am going to demolish from where Arik used to be, Nigeria Airways, all the way to police, to aero contract, to Bristol, and demolish everywhere and put something that is befitting of Lagos. Come on, this is Lagos, the A state. This is our premier airport. When I came in as minister from 2015 to 2019, the first time, as Minister of State overseeing civil aviation, I embarked upon 154 projects, and at least 40% of them were started by somebody. And out of 154, I delivered 137. This new Lagos, new Abuja, new Port Harcourt, new Kano, we made it at 10%. Some of them less than 10%, with lots of challenges, including foundation, lack of sewer, lack of water, lack of electricity in the plan, and distorting the master plan of those airports. In the spirit of our President Muhammadu Buhari, he said that, okay, I wanted to abandon them, give to private sector to finish, and get their money from it. He said, no, go and finish. We finished it and delivered it 100%. Therefore, so long as you put in place the mechanisms to ensure that whoever comes cannot reverse, cannot go back, then you are guaranteed that it will succeed.
The Nigeria Civil Aviation Authority (NCAA) on Monday said pre-departure and post-arrival COVID-19 PCR tests are no longer required for all passengers coming into the country, irrespective of vaccination status. A letter by the Nigeria Civil Aviation Authority addressed to airline operators and all aviation service providers reads thus: COVID-19 travel testing, pre-departure and post-arrival COVID-19 polymerase chain reaction tests are no longer required for all passengers, irrespective of vaccination status. The PCR tests required for all passengers who are partially, not fully vaccinated have been suspended. It further notes that aside from the suspension of the COVID tests, wearing of face masks was no longer mandatory for passengers on board aircrafts. But a simplified health questionnaire form, non-COVID-19 specific, shall be completed by all passengers traveling to Nigeria, preferably pre-departure on the Nigerian International Travel Portal, NITP. Passengers who fail to fill the health questionnaire on the NITP pre-departure will be required to fill the health questionnaire either on board the aircraft prior to landing or at the airport terminal building upon arrival.
People are supposed to observe.
The air accident investigation bodies of Nigeria and Saudi Arabia have signed a memorandum of understanding to share knowledge and improve air safety in both countries' airspaces. The memorandum of understanding was signed in Abuja on the sidelines of the just concluded 14th International Civil Aviation Organization Air Services Negotiation event. Shortly after signing the agreement, the Director General Accident Investigation Bureau of Saudi Arabia, Abdullah Felimban, said the intention behind the MOU is to promote safety and prevention of the reoccurrence of air accidents.
We came to meet our counterparts in Nigeria, the Aviation Investigation Bureau of Nigeria. Our agreement is that we open the channels of communication for cooperation, sharing of experiences, learning from each other and benefiting from the capabilities that each of us have. And as I mentioned in the beginning, we do these investigations in order to ensure the safety of aviation and to promote the safety of aviation. Our business is when something goes wrong, we find out. And once we collect all the evidence, collect all the data and analyze it and find out what went wrong, our job is to put forth recommendations that will make our skies safer.
Also commenting, the Commissioner Chief Executive Officer Accident Investigation Bureau Nigeria, Akinola Teru, said there is no country that is an island. We need to work together as a team to enhance safety.
There's one aviation in the world, and the rule of the game in today's world is cooperation, cooperation, cooperation. There is no country that is an island. We need to work together as a team to enhance safety. And yes, we have both well established, we both have equipment, we both have a human capital, but there are a lot of lessons we can learn from each other. In area of human capital development, Saudi Arabia is going to help us in some of those, one of those areas. We can exchange ideas. This is all about improving safety for the flying public.
Japan has opened its doors to tourists after closing them for 2.5 years due to travel restrictions sparked by the outbreak of the Covid-19 pandemic. Visa-free travel has been reinstated for visitors from dozens of countries, bringing an end to some of the world's strictest border controls. Prime Minister Fumio Kishida is hoping the move will invigorate the economy and reap some benefits from the yen slide to a 24-year low. Among the travelers arriving on a flight from Sydney were tech company executives Liam Eldon and Matthew Bothwick, who booked their flights after Kishida announced the border measures will be relaxed.
We've been very fortunate to be on one of the first flights in, I think, after the visa regulations changed. So just really excited. I think it's majorly around going to see a new culture and going to see some people who I've spent a huge amount of time with over Zoom, and getting rid of that screen and getting to see people face to face is going to be fantastic. So really looking forward to that.
Prime Minister Kishida said the government aims to attract $4.5 billion in annual tourist spending, but that goal may be too ambitious for a sector that has atrophied during the pandemic. Hotel employment slumped 22% between 2019 and 2021, according to government data. COVID restrictions in Japan also remain tighter than those in other countries. People are strongly encouraged to wear masks indoors and refrain from loud talking. The cabinet early this month approved changing hotel regulations so that they can refuse guests who do not obey infection controls during an outbreak. But Japan's decision to fully reopen appears to have stimulated some long pent-up demand. Flag carrier Japan Airlines has seen inbound bookings triple since the border easing announcement. When we return after the break, see the impact of weather on flight operations in some countries across the world. Do join us again. China's capital city Beijing has seen a significant increase in the number of flights at its two international airports thanks to eased COVID-19 restrictions. The daily flights in the Beijing Capital International Airport increased by 63%, while the Beijing Daxing International Airport increased by 100% in December. The daily flights at the two airports are expected to reach 70% of the historical daily flight number in the same period of 2019. In response to the increasing flights and the complex winter weather, the North China Regional Administration under the Civil Aviation Administration of China is taking diverse measures to ensure smooth operation of flights. The administration has carried out training and arranged backup personnel in advance to ensure there are enough personnel on duty every day. The Aviation Administration in Daxing has required all sectors to improve their winter operation plans, provide more precise forecasts and observation, improve services and equipment maintenance. All sectors are also required to conduct on-site equipment checks, clean and calibrate equipment so as to ensure safe, smooth and efficient flights. Still on the weather issues, but this time in Britain, London's Stansted Airport is busy with travelers as heavy snowfall blanketed parts of the country on Monday, December the 12th, disrupting airports, train networks and roads. London's Gatwick and Stansted Airport's one-flight schedules could be disrupted. In a video provided by Stansted Airport, it showed fields and buildings covered with a layer of snow. The Met Office issued a yellow weather warning for snow and ice in London and southeast England, with ice and fog warnings in other parts of England and the whole of Northern Ireland. And in Manchester, snow also forced the closure of airport runways at the airport. The airport authority tweeted, saying, "Due to heavy snowfall, we have temporarily closed both runways. Health and safety will always be our top priority and operations will resume at the earliest opportunity."
But, you know, it's worth a go.
European aircraft maker Airbus SE, a global leader in aeronautics and related services, is banking on growing levels of digitalization in China's aviation sector to achieve sustained growth in what is its largest market. Airbus China unit has set up the Aircraft Lifecycle Services Center in Chengdu, covering a range of activities from aircraft parking and storage, maintenance, upgrade, conversions, dismantling and recycling services for various types of aircraft. The multinational company is betting big on innovation to unlock the next growth phase in the country.
We will benefit from the greatest strengths in this country, such as digitalization, connectivity, logistics, and sustainability, to collaborate with our customers to innovate.
Since Airbus set up its first branch here in 1994, China has become Airbus's biggest single country market. There are more than 2,100 Airbus aircraft in operation across China, accounting for 54% of the market share. For every 4 aircraft that Airbus produces globally, 1 comes from China.
As of today, Airbus has more than 2,000 staff in China. 300 people are the customer service team who supports 26 customers, and there are over 2,000 Airbus aircraft in the area of maintenance engineering, materials, training, flight operations.
Aviation was one of the industrial sectors most affected by the COVID-19 pandemic, but the industry is returning to pre-pandemic levels.
China's air cargo and mail traffic reached 7.318 million tons, or 97.2% of the level in 2019. The future development of air cargo will trend toward integration, logistics, digitalization, high-tech internet, and intelligent development.
The Civil Aviation Agency of China, in its 14th 5-year plan period 2021 to 2025, has called for green and low-carbon development in the industry, with Airbus at the helm of developing sustainable fuels and construction materials for the future.
China has great potential for further development in the aviation manufacturing chain. The huge aviation market is a direct driver for the aviation service market, including maintenance, training, and information services.
Airbus's annual forecast shows air traffic will recover to pre-pandemic levels before 2025, and the company anticipates average annual growth of about 5% in air traffic in the next 20 years. China is also expected to surpass the US as the largest civil aviation market in the world.
We bring to the fore two women making strides in the aviation industry. Meet Taiwo Ajayi. She's the first female investigator at Nigeria's Accident Investigation Bureau. A graduate of biochemistry from the University of Lagos, finding work in aviation after school presented the opportunity to train as an investigator with a tedious and thorough journey.
Aviation being an industry that is highly regulated, having trained personnel to carry out their duties. With my background qualification, I was scheduled to attend the standard air traffic control course at Nigerian College of Aviation Technology, Zaria. So after that, we went through the diploma course, went through the flight experience training, and after that, we now went to the field to get the license, so that we will have a hands-on feel of what the job is about.
Air accident investigation doesn't come easy. Review sessions like this are part of the deal that leads up to a robust report, and Taiwo is the only woman in the room at this time. How has this affected her journey?
I just feel that saying somewhere is male-dominated, it just depends on the mind of the individual. If you might feel it, because definitely a woman will always say, when she sees herself just only her in the midst of men, she might feel, but I just believe that once you put your mind that, okay, it's my work I want to do, and have cordial relationship with your colleagues, I don't think there is much challenge.
With 34 safety investigators hard at work at AIB, the agency is keen on playing a massive role in the West African sub-region. From accident investigation to another woman promoting the industry via new media, popularly called Mama J, Joy Ogwegbo has almost 30 years of aviation experience, with 15 years as an active flight attendant. She has come through the ranks as cabin crew, pursuer, cabin services supervisor, line trainer, and performance manager. Her journey to the cabin started in 1992 with a dream of wearing the Virgin Atlantic uniform.
I started with Okada Airlines. That was in 1992. Virgin Nigeria, I would tell you, was the high point in my career. My interview session was so interesting. Then they told me that the last thing they needed me to do was to go to a room. They told me the room I should go to, that I should try the uniform on. They actually gave us Virgin Atlantic uniform, cabin crew uniform, to fit in. And when I was in the fitting room, when I put on that uniform, I looked at myself in the mirror and I said, dreams to come true.
Taking her experience after 25 years into new media is driven by the passion to inform others about the aviation industry.
The aviation industry was not really projected in positive light. It was more of the negative. I observed that it was when there was something negative happening, maybe a plane crash or something negative, that was when the social media, aviation industry was hyped. There was so much hype about the industry that there was not much given to the positives. So I told myself that this is an industry I've been for a long while. Why not tell the story from within? Why not change that narrative? That was how I started blogging.
With a degree in mass communication from the Delta State University, a diploma in social work from the University of Benin, and other qualifications, Joy also takes pride in being a mother to her young adult son.
That's all we have for you on the program. Join us next week on another edition. I'm Bukola Jo Oketunbi. Yeah.